Another tornado warning. This one has been issued for the northern half of Collin County. Little surprised, quite candidly, that this new tornado warning wasn't issued before the other one expired. But regardless, we're looking at a tornado-warned storm right now that's north of McKinney, that's east of Salina, really kind of just off to the west of you in Melissa and also in Anna. Please don't take this too lightly. We have not had any reports of any rotation. I haven't had any reports of anything touching down, but Collin County and here's Grayson County, you're under a tornado warning until 8 o'clock tonight. The rotation, meteorologist Jesse Huila is here with me as well. So is our weather producer, Jason Joseph. Let's put on the velocity data. I want to look at the storm, kind of look within the storm. We can see pretty good. There it is, Jesse. You see that? Pretty good rotation within that right now as we take a look at this velocity data. And there it is, a pretty good signature here with our rotation. This is the radar velocity. The radar is in northern Johnson County. Okay, this is the radar imagery, the winds that are going away. These are the winds going toward the radar. That's the green, this is the red. And right where those two intersect, that's where we have the rotation. That's where the actual spin takes place. That's where we got a pretty strong signature on here, don't we, Jesse?
We do, yeah. Sorry, I was just talking to our crews that are heading out into that area. Adriana Dalba heading up toward Frisco now. But yeah, that is a very strong rotation there near Van Alstyne, near Weston too. So we're seeing that move toward the east. If I may say, this is easily our strongest signature of the night. We had some rotation earlier, but it was not quite this strong. That rotation in Little Elm, and I will tell you, if there's a tornado warning you're ever going to take seriously and not go out and take a peek, if you're in Anna, Van Alstyne, anywhere there between that 75 and 5 area right there, we just put that track, that's serious rotation. That's tight, that's strong too. And Jason Joseph, our weather producer, just put a track on that rotation. Yeah. So if you see your town on that top left side, there's your timing. Just get in a safe spot now. That's that's serious rotation.
About 10 minutes ago, I mentioned if you were in Anna, you had a couple of minutes to get outside and get the car under some type of shelter, and that's the case. Do not do that now. You do not want to be outside right now. If you live in Anna at this point, or even in Van Alstyne up here in Grayson County, you want to seek shelter immediately. You want to go to the safe room in your house because this thunderstorm that does have rotation in it at a minimum at the mid levels of the atmosphere and quite possibly at the low levels of the atmosphere when we're looking at rotation this strong. When we have a signature that bold, you certainly want to go to the safe room of your home at this point. That's the lowest level of your home, an interior room away from windows. And you need to do that right now if you're in northern Collin County or southern Grayson County. It's getting ready to cross rotations, getting ready to cross Highway 75 and then Texas 5 as well here just in the next couple of minutes. We could put that track back on there. This tornado warning goes until 8 o'clock tonight. It'll leave Collin County here in about the next 15 minutes or so. It will then cross into Grayson County. It'll arrive in Anna, in just a couple of minutes. Again, now, Anna, you're going to be right on the edge of this, but I would not take this too lightly. Van Alstyne and Cannon, you're a bit more in the direct path, but once again, we've seen these storms just in the last 2 hours take a bit of a right turn. So if I lived in Anna, I would be in my safe room right now. Anna, arrival time in just a couple of minutes. Van Alstyne, 7:36. Cannon, 7:46. Kentucky Town, 7:58. Whitewright, 8:01. If it holds together in Orangeville, 8:03. And Ely, if it holds together there, 8:09 would be your arrival time in those locations. So this is Fannin County. This is Grayson County. You can see the county line here. So we'll take that off again. Very strong velocity signature right now showing a rotation. I have to believe there's rotation in the lower levels of the atmosphere as well. Our storm chasers are heading in that direction to see if they can see some type of rotation. They have been all over the place in Collin County Denton and Collin County over the last hour or two, and they have seen no rotation with any of these storms. But this one, as meteorologist Jesse Huila mentioned a moment ago, this one is certainly the most significant, the most intense one we have seen this evening. We're looking at some large hail right now that's falling up to golf ball size hail that's falling right now in Anna near White Street, let me see, here's Anna, so near White Street and 455 and 75 in Anna, so that's in this area right here that we're seeing the quarter to golf ball size hail that's taking place right now. There's 455, there's White Street and 75. So right at the intersection here, that's where we're seeing some quarter up to golf ball size hail. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see hail that could be closer to baseball size with this. This is one supercell thunderstorm. Let's widen the view out here for just a moment. This is the northern half of Collin County. We'll put the reflectivity back on here for just a moment because I want folks to know in other locations across Dallas, Fort Worth, and other locations across the Metroplex. Jason, go out to our DMA view. Let me show folks what's happening. That's it. We have one supercell thunderstorm. There's a cold front back here. You can just start to see a little bit of rain that's developing on that. As that cold front sags more to the southeast over the next couple of hours, I do expect additional thunderstorms to develop. Now, we have a strong cap in place right now. That's that warm layer of air aloft. It's usually aloft, 15, 20,000 feet above the surface, and that warm layer of air, it shuts down severe thunderstorm development. But right now, clearly there's been a weakness in that cap. This supercell has busted through the cap, and it has intensified very rapidly. It intensified in northern Tarrant County, really started to blow up in Denton County, and as it moved from Denton into Collin County, it has stayed very intense. This is the second tornado-warned portion of this storm, and I have no confirmation of anything that has touched down or anything that's rotating right now. But when you're looking at, let's zoom back into Collin County there. But when you're taking a look at a signature on Doppler radar that's as intense as the one that we're seeing right now, you certainly don't want to take this too lightly. And one thing that I want to mention, about 15, 20 minutes ago, we had a report that there could have been some damage at the Collin County Community campus, the Frisco campus. There could have been some damage there, and there was some uncertainty as to whether or not it could have been tornado damage or hail damage. I'm getting reports right now that the Frisco Fire Department's telling us that they have no signs of any damage. They can't find anything there that has gone wrong. Based on the reports, the Frisco Fire Department is saying that right now they can't find any damage, which is great news. That is at Collin County, the Frisco campus, the Collin County Community College Frisco campus right now. As we take a look at this storm, I mean, you can always look at a thunderstorm, and the amount of lightning always shows you how intense a thunderstorm is, and this thunderstorm is extremely intense. Do we have our lightning tracker that we can turn on this thunderstorm to show the intensity of the thunderstorm? You've been able to see the intensity of it. It's also depicted not only with the lightning, but the intensity is also depicted with the storm by the size of the hail, and that's exactly what we've had as well. We've had very large hail. We've had hail that's been up to 3 inches in diameter. That was far, far northern Tarrant County. And in addition to that, that was also in Denton County, where we had some really large baseball-sized hail or larger softball-sized hail is 4 inches in diameter. I've had no reports of that, but I have had 3-inch in diameter hail. Baseball is 2 3/4 in diameter. So there we are. There's our tornado-warned storm right now. Collin County until 8 o'clock tonight. That's the tornado-warned portion of the storm. Grayson County, you're in that until 8 o'clock tonight. Let's go back in. Let's turn the velocity data back on, Jason, for me, if you will. I want to give folks an idea how long this is going to be in Collin County before it exits Collin and moves into Grayson County. It'll give you a little bit of a timing if you live in Grayson, how much time you may have, because if you live in Van Alstyne, I mean, there's the rotation. The rotation right now, it's broadened out a bit. The tornado threat has decreased just a bit, but it's still a strong rotation with the storm, and the strong winds are still likely heading into Van Alstyne, I mean, in the next couple of minutes. So yes, it's north of Weston, it's north of Anna. It's getting ready to move out of Collin County here in just a couple of minutes, but we're now getting, yes, I'm now getting a report at Collin College. In Collin College, there is no damage and there has been no sighting. So the report that we had earlier that it was possible, that report has now been verified. There is no damage at Collin County, the Frisco campus. And that's certainly good news. But if you live in southern Grayson County, if you live in Van Alstyne, the rotation on this storm has weakened and has broadened, but that doesn't mean that it won't ramp right back up. But at a minimum, even if it doesn't ramp back up, you're looking at winds that could be around 60 to 70 plus miles an hour with this. So if you live in Van Alstyne, you certainly need to take shelter immediately, because the center of this storm, meteorologist Jesse Huila, is leaving Collin County, and it's now moving into southern Grayson County, isn't it?
It is, and you know, like you mentioned, a little bit of a more broad rotation than what we saw earlier, which is great news, but we have to remind people, and this is something too, as we start getting into these evening hours, sometimes the lower level winds can pick up a little bit. The low level jet will kick in. You might start to see this rotate a little bit more as it moves in toward Grayson County. And another key point, this rotation, and Jason, if you stay on this view and go over to level 2 radar, that rotation is in the middle of all this. This is rain wrapped. You know, if the rotation's in the middle of very heavy rain and hail, this isn't that clear view of rotation that you might expect or that you would see on TV, like a movie or something like that, or Storm Chasers. But the rotation is rain wrapped. So Van Alstyne, just please, if you're under this warning, do take it seriously, because as we get into the nighttime here, it may cycle back up. It's very possible, but right now, it's good to see that it's broadened out.
Yeah, and with those rain-wrapped storms, to your point, Jesse, you just can't see anything. And I know it's still daylight outside right now. I have all of our tower cams over here. It's certainly light enough to see something out there right now, just due to the light factor. But I mean, when you're wrapped up inside of a severe thunderstorm, it's impossible to see anything until it's on top of you. That's how this works. So thank you, Jesse, for that analysis. Again, this storm system is crossing Collin County, and I don't know if you guys have communicated at all, Jesse and Jason, to find out how long are they going to cancel Collin County, since it's now about out of the county, or not. But Grayson County, you are certainly not out of the woods. Here is Grayson County. You are still under that tornado warning until 8 o'clock tonight. Everything right now is north of Anna. It's north of Anna. It's far, far, far northern Collin County. And any minute now, this is going to be out of Collin County. But a severe thunderstorm right now that has produced a second tornado warned storm. And it's the same exact thunderstorm. It's a supercell thunderstorm. Let's widen out, guys, so we can show folks just where we're talking. Collin County, there's Grayson County, here's Fannin County where Bonham is, of course, and that's it. We have one thunderstorm right now across North Texas. It's a supercell thunderstorm. These are notorious for producing tornadoes, very large hail. And when I say very large hail, I'm not talking nickel, dime, quarter size hail. Quarter size hail is the minimum level of severe hail. And it was, here, quick little history lesson. It was deemed severe hail because back in the day when airplanes, I'm not kidding when I say this, back in the day when airplanes had cloth wings, they knew that hail that was that size would tear up those types of wings. They would create damage to that when they weren't the type of materials that we have that make up planes today. So they determined, well, 1 inch in diameter hail, looked at the damage that it does. So way back when, that became the minimum level of severe hail. It's still the minimum level of severe hail today, and it's big enough to create some problems on our cars and things like that. But big hail is really, you start to get to golf ball size or certainly baseball size, you're talking some really large hail. And that's what we're looking at with this thunderstorm right now. We're looking at some large damaging hail, golf ball, baseball size hail with this one supercell thunderstorm. And again, the storm itself is in the process of weakening, but we do have still the threat for the damaging winds, maybe winds of 70 plus miles an hour. If this thunderstorm, the supercell, starts to collapse, or at a minimum, if it doesn't collapse and it continues to stay intense, we're looking at some really strong damaging winds at this moment. But the tornado warning continues for Collin County and Grayson County until 8 o'clock tonight. Meteorologist Jesse Huila has been here with me throughout the evening, along with our weather producer, Jason Joseph. Have either one of you guys seen any reports of damage with this one supercell thunderstorm? Because we just showed folks, it's the only thunderstorm. It's not only the only severe thunderstorm in North Texas, it's the only thunderstorm that we're seeing right now in North Texas. Have you guys seen any reports of any damage anywhere in Tarrant, Denton, or now Collin County with this thunderstorm?
So nothing confirmed at this time. I know that there have been some parts of Frisco. You mentioned earlier the the Collin College campus. They were looking into possible damage. They said, no, now I know that they're looking into possible damage on the UNT campus of Frisco. So nothing confirmed. I haven't, other than the hail, I will say that. We have had countless numbers of very large hail pictures and video come in, and that's going to do damage without a doubt. And that's been from Little Elm, Frisco, Prosper, now moving into parts of Grayson County. It's been this one troublesome thunderstorm the entire time. And that's, Pete, something that we talk about a lot when we make these forecasts. When you have, before the cold front comes in and sweeps things up, when you get these lone thunderstorms by themselves, they can take full advantage of a very unstable atmosphere, and that's where you get your baseball-sized hail and your tornadoes, or your warnings in this case. And we're seeing that tonight. The cold front's still to our northwest, so that's why we're still having these problems. But again, no confirmed. I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, the circulation is still really, really broad right now with this thunderstorm. It's really broadening out. It's really weakening right now. So we continue to watch this thunderstorm that's still severe. That still has a severe thunderstorm, that has the potential to produce a tornado, and it certainly is likely producing damaging hail that would be quarter, half dollar, golf ball, maybe up to, maybe right now up to baseball size hail, but most likely kind of that golf ball, ping pong ball size hail. Those are the sizes I'm most concerned, and that I think are most likely with this supercell thunderstorm. And Jesse, you're right. These supercells, or these discrete storms, are always the one that creates lots of problems. And it's the only one we have right now. Although, can Jason widen out a little bit? I believe, Jesse, I know you're over there looking at the analysis. I believe this is the cold front right here.
There's our cold front there. Yep.
So that's our cold front. I expect further development. I expect this to build down to the south. And as that cold front moves in, remember, it's going to be, there's DFW. That's our center point for North Texas. I believe that cold front, if you extend it, just use your imagination. If you extend it down to Bridgeport, Mineral Wells, kind of that area right there, I believe that front will be right here at about 11 o'clock. So that's about 60 miles away. It's 7:43. Forward speed's about, maybe it's 40. So, we're probably looking at, it might even arrive before 11 o'clock. I mean, this thing could be at DFW, which would be great because that's when our severe weather threat shuts down. But Jesse, what do you think? That could be there maybe 10:30?
Yeah, certainly. And the other thing too with this cold front, what we'll likely see, which we're kind of seeing near Gainesville, and we were talking about this in our forecast at 4 and 5 and 6, the thunderstorm coverage may actually start to go up. But with the cold front, one thing it will help is it will help at least diminish the tornado threat a little bit.
This one here, yeah.
And instead of talking about baseball size hail, maybe we could start talking about quarter size hail. Still severe, but these massive hailstones and the tornado threat should at least start to go down a little bit once that cold front sweeps in. But storm coverage is likely to go up a little bit too.
Can you guys put on for me, let me look at the latest, and let's just analyze this storm in real time. Let me look at the latest. Let's do this. Let me go with the 12-hour HRRR if we can. Let's look at that model data right now. That's one that comes in. We get an update every 60 minutes with that one. Let's take this off. Let's see if, and let me know, let's see if it initializes this activity, because that's just popped up in the last 15 minutes or so. We're still watching the tornado warn storm that is now out of Collin County. It's crossed into Grayson County. And if you live in Van Alstyne, although the tornado threat has decreased, you're still under that tornado warning for another 15 minutes. The tornado threat has decreased. Right now, what we're looking at is a straight line wind concern, or some downburst winds. It could be up to around 70 miles an hour with that. So is this the latest data that we have? And let's take it to real time, to right now, so I can see how accurate this is. And let's take the cold front off if we can. And we'll take a look at this. This is just something we do behind the scenes all the time. If a model initializes accurately, that gives you a higher confidence level that beyond the initialization, it's going to be accurate. So this is where we have some rain. That's at 7 o'clock. So is this the HRRR, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the hourly. Yep.
I don't know that I'm buying this one. So let's go ahead and move forward in time. There's 8, so that's 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes from now. There's 9. That's not bad. That's not bad. There's 10.
Yeah, that coverage starts to go up.
Yep. Okay, 11. Okay. Go to midnight. There we are. Okay, let's go to the next one if we can. Let's look at our in-house model very quickly, and the short-term one that we have in-house here. And as we put that up, let's take a look at the initialization at, just a little, like if you can go, I know you can take it internally to 746. So let's take a look at that as well. Again, we're still watching the tornado-warned storm. That is in Grayson County now. Collin County, you're still technically under a tornado warning until 8 o'clock tonight. This is probably let's go to 8 o'clock, Jesse. Is that 746?
Yeah, yep, you got it.
Okay, so this is maybe a little more, maybe the reality is somewhere in between the two. There's 9 o'clock. There's 10 o'clock. Let's go to that. Okay. There's 11. I think the timing may be a little better with this one. It's a little faster than the other one. There's midnight. Okay. Let's go to the NAM. Let's take a look at the 3-kilometer NAM. And then we'll finish up with the Texas Tech model as we do that. My point in showing this is we're going to have thunderstorms around. I mean, it's just 7:47. We're going to have thunderstorms around through the entire evening. Every model is showing that right now. Is this the NAM that we're looking at? Yes. Okay, it's the American model. It's junk. Let's throw that out. That obviously is completely wrong. Just a little peeking behind the curtain here. Let's go to the Texas Tech. I know the Red Raider fans would like that. I want to take a look at that and show you just exactly. That has been pretty darn good. There's 7 o'clock. Can you take that to 7:48 for us? That too is incorrect. So it's going to be one of the two, probably a kind of a combination of the first two that I showed you. The Texas Tech is incorrect as well. Typically, the Texas Tech model handles severe weather year in, season out. The Tech usually handles severe weather situations much better than any of the other computer models. Let's go back to the real time, to our live radar right now. Let me show you what's happening out there at this moment. I believe the cold front's just a couple of hours away from Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW, the big airport. Once that moves through, our severe weather threat will end. The severe weather threat, you certainly still have some hail in parts of Collin County, but it's not severe hail anymore. Please put the velocity data on there one more time so we can see, yeah, the velocity with this storm has moved up into Grayson County now. It's firmly in Grayson. Boy, Jesse, that has really broadened out, hasn't it?
It has broadened out quite a bit. We like seeing that. And, a reminder to folks that are still under that tornado warning until 8 p.m., so another 10 minutes. It is broad rotation. That is excellent news. But, please at least take it seriously and stay in your safe space, because you see how that last scan just came in, and you see those brighter pinks right near that Highway 5 area too, just south of Van Alstyne and Anna. So you see some of these outbound winds will strengthen up a little bit. You might see the tightening of rotation again. But right now, at the very least, like you said, Pete, at least it has broadened and weakened. That's at least some good news. But, still that tornado warning. If you live in Whitewright, between Van Alstyne and Whitewright, stay in your safe place.
Well, and that's the thing. When we use the term broaden, it means we don't have a tight center of circulation anymore. It's just broadened out. We're just saying that it's weakened, and that's exactly what's happening. We do have in 10 minutes, this tornado warning is going to expire. The concern that we have is just what Jesse has mentioned. Yeah, go back in time, Jason. Let's show that. So the overall, there it is. Now that's a tight signature right there. But the overall threat right now, watch this. It's decreased. Move it forward in time. See the intensity? See how bright that is? See how it's just loses that intensity? That's the weakening. That's the broad, it's no longer a tight center of circulation. It's now widened out, and it's just kind of, the winds have become a bit diffuse. These storms are still severe. The concern is hail that's 1.5 inches or larger right now. Most likely right around golf ball size hail. That would be the concern. Maybe golf ball a little bit smaller than that, but that's the number one concern that we have right now with this storm in Grayson County. Maybe some winds down here in far northern Collin, but any rotation right now that's left with this storm is firmly in Grayson County. It is no longer in Collin County. Some winds in Collin County, certainly some hail, maybe some quarter-size hail in Collin. But the severe threat has now shifted into Grayson, and even in Grayson, the tornado threat, I'm not going to say it's over in Grayson County, but certainly now it's weakened dramatically, and the overall threat has decreased, and now the concern is going to be the 1.5 inch in diameter hail. Maybe it's ping pong ball size hail, but somewhere maybe $half, silver dollar size hail. That's what we're looking at right now. Collin and Grayson County, technically you're still under a tornado warning. Collin County, the rotation has ended for you, but still an intense, a severe thunderstorm that's in southern Grayson, that's in Collin County right now, mainly a hail producer at this moment. Meteorologist Jesse Huila, I know you've been talking to Matt Howerton.
Yes.
And Matt has been out and about, and we've had a number of other chasers and spotters out there right now. Give me an update on where Matt is and what he has seen.
So we have crews now moving up into the Collin and Denton County areas to assess some of the damage, especially in the Little Elm and Frisco areas. That's where we saw some of our biggest hail this evening. In fact, I'm looking at our hail tracks on one of our radar products here. That area of Little Elm, really close to Lake Louisville, kind of El Dorado Parkway and north up to 380. Not only there it is right there.
That's great. That's a great bit of imagery there for us, showing the hail core with that right now. And
yeah,
by the way, that warning has now expired. They're canceling that in Collin County and also in Grayson County, the tornado warned part of the storm that has now ended in Collin and also in Grayson County. That does indeed, they've let that expire, Jesse.
Yeah. So actually, okay, it doesn't change. So ignore above Pete's head. It says 2 hours. I'm going to go back 4 hours here, okay? So we've been talking about, this has been the lone storm that we've been watching. And what you're looking at is the history of its hail. So there it is in northern Tarrant County as it moved into southern Denton County. And you had hail size. At that point, we were already seeing baseball size hail, and that took off very quickly. Then you see how these oranges start popping up. We'll zoom in toward Little Elm and Frisco. That's where Matt Howerton is heading right now. That again is where we've seen hail size 3.1 inches. That's just a little bit bigger than a baseball. In that area of West Frisco, Little Elm, then you see how it tracks north of 380. So you're looking at kind of the history of where the hail has been. That's been the strongest storm. It's been the only severe thunderstorm we've had. And then we zoom in a little bit closer toward Prosper and Salina, there near 380. Again, still very big hail, but
probably close to baseballs here in Prosper.
Yeah, that whole area has just been getting pummeled. If we zoom out and put a loop on that, if we could, you'll see how this started in Tarrant County, and that's it. That's our thunderstorm, and
it's the only one.
Yeah, it's the only one, and it just sometimes that's a very populated area.
Yeah.
You can't get away from roof, car damage. It doesn't matter where. Anywhere in the Metroplex, if you get hail like that, it's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, and we'll have reporters there. We'll have the latest tonight on WFAA at 10. That's 2 hours from now. Let's go back real fast. Let me show you the DMA radar. We'll put the regular old radar on there for you to take a look. You can see our tornado warning now. That has just been canceled a couple of minutes ago for Grayson County and also northern Collin County. No longer under that threat. The threat has now turned to $quarter to $half size hail. That's it. I do expect additional thunderstorms as the cold front moves in over the next several hours. We'll be here throughout the night as we always are and as we have been tonight. Right now, though, it's 7:55. We'll send you back to our regular programming.